platform is in a way trying to make all the different kinds and flavors of ERP softwares, the accounting softwares, the vendor management portals, the distributor management portals, and all of them connected and interoperable together. For all on-platform payments, we guarantee the delivery of funds. Or for off-platform payment, we guarantee the exchange of information.
Yep.
The May month of 2025, we did business value exchange worth of 2,500 crores.
And that is where we started using a lot of AI accelerators that we have in our midst, where a lot of the user stories were then converted into test scripts and test cases.
This platform, the Bharat Connect for Business platform, is in a way completely new type of network. So the TSP role of enabling these technologies for others to be able to consume is very, very critical.
Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Altimetrik's very own podcast, where we bring together digital builders, innovators, and thought leaders. I am Arun Kumar, your host for today, who also double hats as a global product head at Altimetrik. A quick primer on who we are. Altimetrik is an AI-first company where deep engineering meets product thinking. We work very closely with customers to build domain-differentiated, scalable, and cutting-edge platforms to drive business value. Our conversation today is a journey of one such platform that has been built at nation scale. Conceptualized by NPCI Bharat BillPay Ltd, NBBL for short, the Bharat Connect for Business platform has transformed the landscape in the last 1 year of its existence. Inaugurated by the then Governor of the Reserve Bank of India, Sri Shaktikanta Das, this platform brings together buyers, suppliers, and financiers in a way that has completely transformed the payment and the digital landscape in India. To talk more about this platform, its benefits, and the role in the overall journey associated with Altimetrik, we have today with us Mr. Shailendra Thakur, the Chief Technologist at NBBL. Shailendra, thank you for coming and welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me here. My name is Shailendra Thakur. I am Chief Transfor Technology for NPCI Bharat BillPay. My responsibility and the role with NPCI Bharat BillPay is to create transformative technologies and also bring in the DPI capabilities, enhance the DPI capabilities so that as a nation we are digital first, we are business first, and then we act as a catalyst for the economic growth of the nation.
Yeah. Awesome, Shailendra. Great experience, whatever you've been able to bring. And I think at the start, I did talk about the fact that it was inaugurated as a Global FinTech Fest last year by none other than the then Governor of the RBI, which kind of talks a lot about the strategic imperative of the platform at nation scale. Could you elaborate on this further, please, in terms of what this platform was meant to be and what it sought to address?
So, before we get into what this platform is meant to be, let's understand a couple of aspects that are inherent in our economic situation today. One is that everybody talks about India being a low trust society in terms of business environment. That primarily originates from our physical modes of doing businesses. So this platform tries to address by bringing trust in data. And that's why the platform is in a way trying to make all the different kinds and flavors of ERP softwares, the accounting softwares, the vendor management portals, the distributor management portals, and all of them connected and interoperable together so that businesses are comfortable, are doing the business processes and transactions from the interfaces that they are comfortable with. They no longer have to learn different kinds of software. They can learn one type of software and their learning curve is shorter. They no longer have to worry whether if I have sent an invoice to my buyer, is it getting into spam or is it really getting delivered? So all of that digital, it gets communicated across in real time. It gets also acknowledged across in real time. So there is greater trust in the data, because every transaction is acknowledged and by both the parties. So it's kind of synchronized, and inherently, because there is a trustable data now, the underwriting for all the business objects would be better, and that's where the financiers will gain the insights into not just the payment, receivable and payable, but also the business which is or the business activity which is happening behind for that payment to arrive and for that payment to be processed. So there is enriched data for the financiers. There is simplicity and a lot of automation which comes in for the businesses, and that's where there is a win-win for almost everybody.
Understood. And maybe Shailendra, we can actually double click on some of these as well, because now we are talking about an ecosystem that has buyers, suppliers and financiers, and you talked about how integrated all of them are working and coming together. But if you want to kind of double click further on some of the key features, what does it mean for a buyer, what does it mean for a supplier, and what does it mean for a financier to be present as a participant on this platform? It would really help.
So it's actually an ecosystem play, as you rightly say, that the ecosystem has banks, financiers, and financiers in the terms we have the trades entities today, the ERP providers, those form the ecosystem, and then of course your businesses are the end users. Now businesses are not necessarily always a buyer or a supplier. They play these roles interchangeably. Same two businesses could have one set of supplier and buyer relationships. So these changes very dynamically. This platform today allows them to exchange the purchase orders, which is a sales object, then have the confirmation on those purchase orders, exchange invoices, edit invoices, issue credit and debit note, which kind of reduces mostly your trade disputes, whether the sufficient number of goods were delivered as intended or not, if there is a discount to be given. And of course then the payments can be made on platform and off platform, which gets settled, and we via our settlement guarantee mechanism for all on platform payments, we guarantee the delivery of funds, or for off platform payment we guarantee the exchange of information. Beyond payments, of course, for India's businesses to grow, I very frequently use the term velocity of capital. And right now what is happening is the lack of financing is hampering our velocity of capital. A business which can get their invoices financed has the capital back and a bit of profit also back, so that they have the ability to take on more business. The slower that capital comes in, meaning the lower the velocity of that capital, the business is limited by how much ever capital he can invest, right? So the velocity of capital is actually a multiplier for the economy, and that's where with financing, the buyers and suppliers will get this additional velocity of capital, and we envisage that this will add significant growth factor to the economy as such.
Okay. Amazing, Shailendra. I think that has been a game changer, if you will, because the more the capital is circulating within the ecosystem, obviously the businesses absolutely grow as well. Which basically means that there should be a lot of interest from various entities to be part of the platform. Could you talk to us about what the market adoption has been towards this platform?
So when we went live at the GFF 2024, at that point in time we had 12 partners already live with us, and as we speak we have more than 18 partners now, and also some of the larger players are in line, and the pipeline is growing in terms of number of partners. Now number of partners is one indicator. The number of businesses which are transacting is another indicator. We have significant or rather very minuscule right now, close to 5,000 odd businesses which are transacting. And for a nation of our scale, it is a very minuscule, but these are just the starting times for this platform. The third aspect is what's the business value exchange that's happening on this platform. The May month of 2025, we did business value exchange worth of 2,500 crores. So the pickup is there is traction, but we need to do more. And to give you a view into why we need to do more is India has 6.8 crore MSMEs and we are still in thousands. So our journey is very long. It has many milestones in between, but that journey, we will undertake that journey, and we are looking forward to work with more and more partners, because the partners are the ones which open up this possibility to their businesses on how they can transact digitally from say pre-sales or order to cash, quote to cash, whatever you say, right? So it's our partners that allow us to do that. They are always our multipliers. The most unique aspect is that because of this new platform, the businesses which are onboarded onto this platform do not need to invest in another set of front ends, another set of training, all of that. So the learning curve is as flat as we could keep. Hence the adoption by the businesses should be as natural as it can get. But this is again just with the small participation right now. When the participation grows, this number will look really impressive. But more than that, it's the exchange of business value and the acceleration of capital is what will deliver ultimately the growth to the businesses.
Absolutely. And also the fact that you talked about India being large in MSME economy in terms of numbers, and the fact that we just have it in thousands means that the potential for the platform to be adopted on a wider scale is much more.
Yes.
As a result. Okay. Building a platform of this size definitely would have had challenges. And could you talk to us about some of the challenges that you had, right from timelines, maybe the functionality and features and so on? You're already smiling, so I'm sure the audience would like to know more about how some of those challenges are also overcome.
Before we get into challenges, I want to touch upon a very core area of competence. The NPCI Bharat BillPay, which operates now 4 digital public infrastructure platforms, and NPCI as a parent company. One of the core competencies is how do we design protocols for all of this to work together, for all of this to come together, and how do we create ecosystems. And with that thinking in mind, with that learning behind us, with that knowledge with us, we set on to defining the protocols first, then choosing the technologies which will scale to the nation scale, which will allow us to really be flexible, because this entire space of business workflows and commerce is quite wide, in the sense that there are so many varied activities and so many varied nuances that you have to be able to cater to the flavors. And it could be regional, it could be sectoral, it could be even very hyper local. That those nuances have to be taken care of.
Absolutely.
So the first thing we did was to create a very flexible protocol, and it already caters in many senses to interoperability with GSTN, in the sense that all the information which is captured can be easily shared with with GST and in readily available manner. Similarly, there are other protocols which were looked at for comprehensiveness. For example, the international trade protocols that are there, and also the beacon protocols which are there for greater comprehensive coverage. So that was the protocol design. And the second aspect is we looked at what are the critical steps a business takes for their from them getting an order or receiving an order and till they get paid. There are friction points in between. The journey was in a way disconnected. I wouldn't use the term broken because of course the business is happening, but the journey is disconnected before this platform came in, because a PO had to be issued via email or something, and then somebody else downloads it and punches in their system.
Yes.
Similarly, an invoice or a performa invoice, which is a kind of a sales recognition object, and then they have to acknowledge it. Again, that acknowledgement comes over email. So there is no single place, or even if the ERPs were willing, because the variety on the other side, you could not really deliver all the services in one place for the business. With this, all of that can be delivered because we have looked at all these aspects and built the objects and business objects that could be exchanged. And at the same time, you also know that when you build an ecosystem like this, there are many components, many systems, and many partners. The more nodes you have in a network, the higher the possibility and of failure, of downtime, and all of this. So that was a bigger challenge on how we bring in this capability into some of the ERPs which could be small, which could be open source, which could be so many other variety. So that was the other challenge that we were facing. Somebody could just shut down their servers.
Absolutely.
Right? For whatever reason, the other party is not there to receive electronically the messages. How do you deliver it later, and so on and so forth. So those were some of the challenges. And of course, we take pride in building and launching complex systems in record time. So that's where our partners, the Altimetrik, who are the partners for us in the technology domain, it was really impressive that you guys rallied behind, and everybody, I must congratulate everybody that during the build out phase, I have seen very rarely the entire team as focused as this. Focused in one direction, one goal. Everybody was almost like you breathe in and breathe out Bharat Connect for business every time and moment of their life. So that's what made this possible. And any launch at GFF is always has its own pressures. And again, congratulations to the team for very smooth, very successful launch. And post that, we have seen the traction.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Thank you, Shailendra, for the validation. I think the time pressure, the two elements that we all collectively, I think, grappled with. One is we got to get the required foundational functionality in place because it had to be end-to-end. At the same time, we had to do it in record time, to what you were talking about. The mega launch at scale in a very public setting meant that we had to all rally together, and it was great partnership and great collaboration with the NBBL team, that Altimetrik team felt, through which we were able to drive a lot of value.
And this has been the NBBL side of the story, and personally for me, my side of the story as to how and what we were trying to build. How has this been on the Altimetrik side is something I would like to get to some insights to.
Yeah, thank you, Shailendra. I think I would probably call out a few elements. I think the very first thing was the fact that we were chosen to be a partner to build a platform at nation scale was a matter of incredible and immense pride for us as Altimetrik. We are talking about deep engineering over here. We are talking about hyperscaling at the same time. And for us to be part of an India stack story, a digital public infrastructure story that is going to be taken at population scale meant a lot. As a company, we all said that we will have to come together to be part of this cause. The second was that every engineer, every product expert, every other individual associated with the engagement, right from leadership on to everybody else, felt that we had to again come together and do whatever it takes to build a platform in record time. And again, our journey, as you are aware, we would go in with certain assumptions about what the market would want. And then we realized as a team, based on your feedback, based on market feedback, that some of the functionalities that we thought were critical were probably not going to be critical. And functionalities that we had deprioritized suddenly became very important. Now, all of this had to be changed real time, even though we had a GFF launch coming up in August that could never be changed. So working through that was something that we all came together on, and that was helpful. In terms of the product, that's what I would call out as a last point. Our involvement, right from overall product definition, feature elaboration, actual engineering, testing, deployment, working with the ecosystem partners to make sure they are also onboarded and they are able to test these end-to-end flows. And last but not the least, our active involvement in the go-to-market strategy as well is something that we have personally taken a lot of pride in, and we are very thankful to NBBL for having given us that opportunity. Of course, the crowning glory absolutely was watching the entire platform being launched on stage by the Governor of the Reserve Bank of India. It was a matter of immense pride for us. So once again, thank you.
A couple of areas that I want you to expound upon. For this platform, we have used some of the unique technologies which are not commonly seen. In fact, I think most of the engineers had never heard of some of these technologies. How did they take these kind of challenges?
I think at the core of who we are as an engineering company, we take pride in the fact that everything is going to be new. A lot of them were obviously open source technologies from a stack perspective as well. We also had functional and foundational capabilities that we had to build. So for example, part of our thinking was the fact that we have to build a lot of common components that are reusable. That thinking had to go from the day one. Because if that common base foundational functionality was not in place, we were not going to meet the required deadlines. I think one of the things that we did early on was to take this conscious active decision with your concurrence that we were going to take about a month to month and a half not writing any code. We deliberated, we sat down together, we said what is it that we will do. We had the clear charter to kind of build it out. That of course compressed the development life cycles. But that 1 month of active thinking, in a way, clarified the architecture across both our teams, and that in turn helped in rapid build out as well. And of course, we used a lot of AI in building out, but you had a point, so go ahead as well.
So of course, what we are saying is grinding your X before you start chopping will give you the velocity and speed. But I must also appreciate that the sheer amount of test cases that goes for this platform. How did you cope up with this area?
Yeah, again, we had to be very creative over here. The functionality was extensive, and as we got to a stage where we understood what we had to do, the teams started writing the user stories, the engineering was starting. But one of the directives, if you will, from your end was you also have to complete testing as soon as the code is developed. You did not want the testing to happen towards the very end. Now, well, we've got user stories written, and that is where we started using a lot of AI accelerators that we have in our midst, where a lot of the user stories were then converted into test scripts and test cases, because we could not afford later on to write those test scripts and then test them right away because of constraints around time. Similarly, overall, when it came to code quality, code coverage, and unit testing, We used a lot of inbuilt AI accelerators as well within the organization, through which we were able to accelerate our development velocity, which is where this platform, if you will, was able to be delivered in record time, even by Altimetrik's own standards. Now, the point I would also like to highlight is that AI was not just in the way we were infusing the capability, in the way we were building the platform. You also had a lot of requirements by which foundational AI had to be used as in terms of platform's capabilities and features. Talk about, for example, online dispute resolution, or for that matter, a lot of onboarding that had to happen, and so on and so forth. So for us, it was about creating those capabilities using AI, both from a build standpoint as well as from a capability standpoint. Given that where we are right now in terms of the various capabilities that have been launched, now I'm sure you're looking at the future. The future in terms of two dimensions. One is, how do you take it to scale through technology service providers and other partners, and also in terms of new capabilities. Maybe I will start with the capability question first. Whatever you built and the market feedback that you have got, what is coming up on this platform for 2025 and beyond?
So there are a couple of things that are very foundational to the way we scale a network. And if you will, this is in a way, this platform, the Bharat Connect for Business platform, is in a way completely new type of network. And that network, when it requires scaling, it requires partnerships on various levels. One is the partnership which enables the adoption of technology, and that is where the roles of our TSP comes in. The other is the adoption on the business front, where more and more businesses come on board, and that is enabled by the ERPs of the world or the banks of the world.
Yeah.
In fact, we have a few banks connecting their business apps with us now. So even banks are a great partner in that. And very soon we will have them live. It's underway. So I see the technology enabler role very significantly, because any platform of this scale needs to also be secure. And while building this, we have built certain capabilities which are, I should say, slightly looking forward into the future towards quantum cryptography and so on and so forth.
Yep.
So the TSP role of enabling these technologies for others to be able to consume is very, very critical. The feedback from market has been that can we introduce them to new TSP or a certified TSP or someone, and all the certified TSPs will get listed, so it will be open for everybody to see. It does require significant technology expertise. Just for people to appreciate this, when we went live, we had close to 100 plus APIs. As of now, we have close to 165 plus APIs. The rate at which we built was great, and the rate at which we continue to add is also rapid. And a technology first organization as a partner is required to keep up with that pace, because on the other side, although the products, for example, ERPs are a technology product, but they are business first applications.
Yes.
And hence there is a significant requirement for technology first organizations to play this role of being the bridge between what this platform can deliver and what the user can consume. So I see a great role there.
Okay, absolutely.
How do you see the role of Altimetrik as a TSP and a GTM partner, and what kind of vision you have for this?
Yeah, very good question, Shailendra. And I think this has been a long conversation within our organization as well, because we look at this platform that has been built not just as a platform with which capabilities have gone live with, but how do you actively promote, evangelize this platform so that more and more partners are able to be part of the ecosystem. So from that standpoint, there are, I think, two broad facets that we have decided to adopt internally. One is, and that's why we applied to be a TSP for this platform, because we think our value proposition is that we are going to help provide businesses a speed to market proposition. The fact that you talked about the 170 plus APIs, which means now we obviously have an API registry, an API register through which we are able to onboard businesses a lot faster and the partners a lot faster as well. We also have a certification toolkit, and the certification toolkit is meant to once again speed up the journey by which a partner is going to get certified to be on the platform. That way, when they approach NBBL saying that they would want to be a part of the platform, you have the validation that yes, they have gone through the certification toolkit and they are indeed ready to be part of this platform as well. So from that perspective, we have a number of implementation accelerators where if you are a business entity or if you are a technology provider, by working with us, the pace at which you're going to come onto this platform is going to be significantly faster than your competitor who is not going, for example, through a TSP. From a go-to-market perspective, we have passionately taken up this cause as well, where we are working with our customers. I mean, as Altimetrik, we work with a number of fintech and payment tech providers and customers as well. We are actively talking about this platform with them. And the idea is we are also looking at opportunities by which some of these organizations and firms can also be part of this platform. And then we are able to take them to scale. So both from a GTM perspective as well as a TSP perspective, I think that is a mindset that we've got in terms of this platform.
Great to have Altimetrik as a partner who is looking to expand into this entire area and who is looking to be as nimble as we are, in a sense that we truly are a technology first company, and we truly have a technology first partner in terms of Altimetrik as both as part of the bid and both as part of the TSP program. Thank you for that.
Great, Shailendra. I think what comes out very clearly in this conversation is that you're a very passionate digital builder. And there will be a lot of listeners and audience to this podcast who would probably want your advice on what does it take to build a platform at scale that also provides business value. An extension to that as well, there's a lot of AI and AI related conversations in a lot of the platform build out stories. So if you could also talk about where do you think AI can be actively infused into the platform journey, it would be great.
So before I start, there are a couple of aspects when you are building a product platform, whether it is for nation scale or whether it is a DPI or whether it is just next social media app. One of the very critical aspects is how do you control your software supply chain. You have to have control over your software supply chain. That is very imperative for you to sustain the market dynamics in terms of how pricing of commercial software works, how availability of certain algorithms work, because suddenly if you are a global builder and suddenly if you are from a territory which gets an embargo in terms of say algorithm export, you must have that supply chain secured. Second part is that in the AI world we have today companies operating at the front end, and most of those companies are either a wrapper on top of very few core AI companies, or the research driven AI world where new algorithm comes and they kind of do a benchmarking against others. So it's like more like a beauty contest there. But the real world AI, if you look at it, the real world AI will make everyday use case so smooth that you will not even realize there is a AI.
Well said.
Many of our platforms are powered by AI in that sense for various activities. Even in this platform build, we have used AI, but it has been used only to make the life of an engineer or life of a user much more simpler without introducing any friction. So AI, whichever AI is reducing the friction from your user's functional journey, doesn't need to come on front. It can stay in the back and do the great job of it. So most of the real world AIs will be like that. Of course, you will have all the filters to modify your images and satisfy your small time creative craving, but the real world AI will be much more engineered. So you need to understand how the LLMs work before you can use it. But using as a user, for example, I may be using any large language model for my day-to-day work, but it has to become so much in the background that I should not even be realizing that I am using them. That's where the AI will go. Whether it takes 5 years, 7 years, I don't know, but that's where it will go. Today, when we make a phone call, we don't realize. Earlier, when we used to make a phone call, we lifted the cradle and then we dialed the number. So we knew what we are doing. Today, we don't even realize. We just tell our phones to make a call. But that's powered by AI because it's still behind the scenes making it possible. So that's the transformation AI will bring. To build for AI itself, you will require different kinds of thought processes there. How do you break all the boundaries of your own thought process first will be critical. How do you really free your thought process and say, I will put a machine to solve this problem. Can you create a machine to solve another machine's problem? That's where you have the general AI.
Understood. Essentially what you're talking about is pervasiveness in terms of how it is going to be part of the problem as well as how it is going to be part of the build out as well. And that's a world that you absolutely envisage.
Yes, and just as everything can be used for good and bad, you will definitely find AI also being used for not so productive work. More and more AI driven frauds may happen. For example, morphing of voices onto some other videos, or even creating videos with complete lip sync. So people have to be more and more careful about it, and the builders have to build in anti-AI capabilities also.
Interesting.
So just like for anything you have an anti also. For a design pattern you have an anti-design pattern. For everything you will have to have that antidote. And AI is also on that periphery that you have to have the antidote of detecting what is an AI generated, what is an AI created, and how to prevent the misuse of it.
Absolutely. Thank you. I think this will be very useful to a lot of the listeners who are looking to consider AI in the way they are building platforms and also how they want to scale in the future. I think we've covered good ground in terms of what the Bharat Connect for Business platform does, the premise and the entire journey. Would like you to provide any concluding thoughts you have about the platform and any other message to the audience.
For the Bharat Connect for Business, we have just started the journey, and as the journey grows, we envisage more and more partners coming in, more and more builders coming in. In fact, the basic idea behind any of these API driven systems, for example, this entire platform is fully API accessible. Everything is in the sense that API driven. It should allow more and more innovation on top of it. So we would like to call in partners who are in a way testing the boundaries or breaking the boundaries of traditional means of doing commerce. Join hands with us and just bring their products and features to the nation scale.
Absolutely. Thank you, Shailendra, for a great discussion about the platform, the benefits, and overall how the journey has been. I'm very certain, very confident that our listeners and viewers would absolutely love hearing and watching your perspectives as well. And on behalf of Altimetrik, a huge thank you to NBBL for giving us the opportunity to partner with you on this platform build-out journey over the past 1.5 years. Thank you for your time, Shailendra.
And absolutely, you have been a very deserving partner. For the people who were part of the process of onboarding a partner, they will realize that you have been a very deserving partner.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you once again.
For more episodes of the Altimetrik podcast, subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Spotify.